Hi, I'm Professor Ritchey. In this video, we will look at 6 skills to enhance our interactions based on the work of Professor Stella Ting-Toomey and Jogn Oetzel. The first is mindful listening. This is actively listening for the cultural assumptions about the interactions. Are individualistic or collectivist assumptions being used during the interaction? Is low context or high context communication being used in the interaction? What is our problem solving orientation? What about power distance and self perception, the I versus the we? When we mindfully listen, we are aware of the definition of the situation, including the message, meta message, conversational signals, devices, and traits, and also our nonverbal messages. There are several listening techniques that psychologists, counselors, and coaches use to gain more information during an interaction. Let's take a look at a few of these. The first technique is acknowledging. This is when we paraphrase what another person has just said. The second is validating. This is when we are understanding their feelings without judgment. A third technique is clarifying. This is to make certain we know what they mean when they use certain phrases or words. It provides us with more detailed information. When you want to say something that might make a person uncomfortable, you can ask permission. This gives the power to the other. Another way to attain more information is by using magical phrases. That's interesting, tell me more. Or, why would you say that? On these, you want to watch your tone. Next, we can try reframing, and that's helping another individual change their perspective. What other ways could we look at that? Visioning is another technique that helps people to imagine the future. What is their vision? Growing. This helps people to draw on past successes to motivate their actions, their current actions. Breaking resistance. This helps people learn from what they did not do. What's holding you back? Finally, there is brainstorming, and this is helping people to generate new ideas. It helps people get unstuck. The second skill to enhance our interactions is mindful reframing. Here, individualists and collectivists need to be able to translate the verbal and nonverbal messages from the perspective of the other. Remember, taking the perspective of the other happens during the perception phase of an act. It is when we can pause and consider our 6 forms of cultural knowledge. If you are uncertain about the perspective of the other, be sure to ask clarifying questions. The third skill is face management. This is the maintenance of social self-esteem during our interactions with others. Here, we avoid shaming or humiliating opponents in public. If there is a conflict, we address it privately or discuss the general issue to the group. Have you been humiliated in public? How did it make you feel? What would you have preferred to have happened? How do you approach people who you think have wronged you? The fourth skill is trust building. This is the most important aspect in developing relationships, and there's differences between individualistic and collectivist in their assumptions about trust. Trustworthy traits for individualistic cultures include charismatic, personal credibility, decisive action, persuasive, and reliable. Collectivists see trustworthy traits as including credible status in a respected organization, dependable family, consistency of words and actions, verbally cautious, and no written contracts. Collectivists often see the United States as being way too much talk and persuasion, and that there's an inconsistency in words and actions. Think of a time when someone violated your trust. How did it make you feel? Were you able to trust them again? How can trust be rebuilt after it has been violated? The fifth skill is collaborative dialogue, and this is our ability to understand our own and the other's cultural assumptions about resolving misunderstandings. It's about finding commonalities. Where do we agree? Where do we disagree? And how can we make it win-win? If you are more individualistic and interacting with a collectivist, reframe your dialogue by demonstrating patience, verbal restraint, storytelling or metaphors, and self-effacing talk. If you are more of a collectivist and interacting with an individualist, reframe your dialogue by using more assertive statements, expressing your thoughts, opinions, and wants. Be more direct in your talk. Use the low context trait and direct questions to specific people. The final skill is communication adaptability, and this is our ability to analyze the conversational signals, devices, traits, and nonverbal cues with the intent of adapting our conversational style to the styles of others in the situation. How do you alter your conversational style depending on the definition of the situation? We cannot change the behaviors of others, but we can change the way we respond. With the knowledge you gained, how will you make certain your interactions are successful? Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.